Morning, morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, middle of the week. Always like to do a sound check. Can you hear me good? Well, so I will have a sip of this delicious coffee. Good morning, Gustina. How are you doing this morning? Hope you got your coffee and brought some conversation. It's Wednesday. What is the date today? Oh, November the 19th. Today's my oldest sister's birthday. Glad I looked at my watch. I need to call her and tell her happy birthday. Justina, if you haven't ever joined, let me know where you're from. Jason, Phipps, hey man, how's it going? Good morning. Susie Q, I love that. Susie Q, hey, how's it going? Good morning. Jason, yeah, there we go. And my favorite sweetie over here, Miss Kim, has joined us on YouTube. Marcus Cooper 79 joined. Hey man, how's it going this morning? It's Wednesday. We're gonna have a good morning. Batman just joined. Hey man, what's up? Today, everybody today, if hopefully you got your coffee. So everybody put in the comments if you got your coffee and you're ready to go. Real quick, just type the word coffee. Casey just joined. Hey, Casey, what's up, man? I know you're on the road. Morning, morning. How you doing? Life Celebrated just joined. Thank you for joining. Sooner Boy. Uh-oh. Sooner Boy 71. I'm just guessing. Sooner Boy, are you from Oklahoma? Nelly. Because if you are, I want to give you, and you're a college football fan, I want to give you a whoop, whoop. Kick the crap out of them Alabama. I thought that was good. Even though Texas lost, I didn't really expect them to win against Georgia. But wouldn't that have been good if both teams could have knocked off those two top teams there? Wisconsin fishing. No sound? Really? You can't hear me? Got my microphone on. Maybe that's why everybody's let me check the sound here real quick. Can you hear me now? How about now? Sound? No sound. That's funny. Microphone is good. How about sound now? No sound, no sound. No sound. Wonder why I'm not getting any sound. Oh, how about now? Can you hear me now? Still no sound? Hello, hello? That's funny because it was working earlier. I did not. No sound. Why am I getting no sound through my microphone? Bear with me one sec. Let me check the connection. How about now? We got sound? I don't know. Must just, yeah. How about now? You can hear me now. I can see it. Have no idea why. I guess just sometimes that's what happens when you get a computer. So everybody, good morning. Good morning, good morning. I know Ed says he can hear me on YouTube, so that's good too. I'll tell you what, these little wireless mics, unfortunately I had one that I didn't think was very good, but this particular one was really well priced, and you know, I got it on Amazon, but and not the TikTok shop, but it's been really good, and there's a few things I really like about it. So one, the fact that it comes, of course it comes with two, but it comes in this case, and this case is rechargeable, so if you ever have to carry it or you're going somewhere, that's pretty handy. And that you don't have to like sync it; it stays synced with the receiver that you plug into your phone. So that's been really good too. Okay, well, I'm glad we got all the sound issues fixed. Close that. It's Wednesday, and I was it's funny. I was watching Casey's down in Corpus. That's good. I figured you were on the road. Are you picking up something in Corpus and taking it somewhere else, Casey? There we go. Good deal. Good, good, good. So real quick, everybody let me know if you got your coffee and you're ready to go. Wednesday's a day of engagement. So I like that. Lord Scone, hey man, how's it going? Thank you for joining this morning. We're actually going to get some rain. I think tonight's when it's supposed to start. So Thursday and Friday is supposed to be rain. We need a cold front. It's really been hot and muggy in the afternoons, and I'm really kind of tired of the summer weather. I'm ready for some cooler weather. Fishing, good morning. Good. Good for the flowers. Yeah, that's true. It's always good to have some rain before we do get some really cold weather too. Yeah, Thanksgiving's right around the corner, guys. Right around the corner. So is anybody traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday? Anybody at all? I mean, we're going to some family's house. We used to host it every year, and so now we've kind of spread it around, because after about 10 years of every year hosting Thanksgiving and Christmas back to back, that's quite a feat when you have about 30 or 40 people to feed. So we've kind of changed things up, and we started doing where we kind of move around, but where a little more involvement, so that everybody brings something, kind of like a potluck, but everybody knows it's for Thanksgiving. So we just put together a menu and then divvy up who's going to bring what and who's going to do what. Then that way everybody gets to help, and it's not such a burden on a small group of people. And this year we're going to some family who just bought a new place, and they want to show their place off. So we're going to do that by celebrating Thanksgiving with them. So that's going to be fun. And they're not too far away. They're just, they're probably 10 or 15 miles from us. So Chris says, you're invited to my Thanksgiving dinner. Chris, where are you having Thanksgiving dinner at? Good morning. Is your welding? How's my welding ability? Really? I can stick two pieces of metal together, but it ain't pretty. I used to could weld pretty good when I was in high school. because I always thought I might be a welder. But, you know, it's one of those skills that if you don't use fairly regularly, you can get pretty rusty at it. Matter of fact, I just did a review on a welder, and I was really impressed with it. It's just a little small one. You know, I told everybody that, and I still believe it was just a stick welder, but it went up to 125 amps, which there's for most things you could weld. You could use that welder for, and didn't weigh but like 5 or 6 pounds, so you didn't have to break out a bunch of stuff. And it was, you know, 120 volt plug, so it was easy to carry with you for small jobs. And yeah, so and I practiced with it a little bit. I ended up giving it away to a high school kid who a friend of a friend knew that was in high school as a freshman, and he thinks he wants to be a welder. So I was able to give it to him. I got it for free. And so I just passed it on and gave it to the kid, and so that he could have it at home and practice his welding. So yeah, I thought it was a good thing. Hope you're doing well. Love from Russia. All right, Nikita, all the way from Russia. Man, technology, that's great. Nikita, is it cold in Russia right now? Do I have a particular, you know, when I was younger, I had Chevy trucks. Matter of fact, my very first truck was a 1965 Chevy Stepside. Today. All right. Hey, everybody. Just, I don't know if you know, but Ed, is our Lutheran minister, but Ed also has a podcast called Reflection. And if you like podcasts, it's great. It's on season 5. Today, they'll be recording a special episode for Christmas. Ed, when will that be available to, I mean, can we listen to it today while you're recording it, or do you record it and then post it for listening later? 30 degrees. Nikita says it's 30 degrees, supposed to start snowing later today. Woo. I don't know. 30 degrees might feel pretty good right here about now. I mean, the snow, I can do with or without the snow. It'll post the first week of December. Okay, so it basically record it today, and it'll be posted the first week of December. That's good. However, he has other episodes posted. So if you love podcasts, he has great guests on there. He's in season 5. You can see it on Spotify and Apple Music. Go check it out. Just search Ed Blonsky Reflection, and it'll pull it up every time. Go check out his podcast. Ed did a little live radio in his college days, so he's got a good radio voice. Let's see here. Kim, Ed, Lloyd. Hey, Lloyd, how's it going, buddy? So, you know, this morning, I thought that we would play a little game, since it's Wednesday, and, you know, I always go Wednesday, whoop, whoop, it's hump day. That means we are over the hump, and it's on a downhill slide to Friday. Got some good coffee, good friends. Way to start off the morning. We got the holidays coming. You know, we have so much to be thankful for. I don't know if any of you watch videos regularly. I'm not real sure if I just saw something. I keep getting distracted here, but I just saw something on TikTok. I was watching Cow Cop. A video popped up, and I was watching one of his videos, and it asked me if I click this notification bell. Hey, Paul, How's it going, buddy? That I would be notified, and I'm assuming that means I'll get a notification when CalCop posts a video. And I'm not sure if everybody gets those or not. That's the first time I'd seen that. I mean, I think it's great because they do that on YouTube. You know, you can choose whether you want to be notified when new videos come out. So if you see that, definitely click that notification bell so you don't miss out, because I post a lot of different ones. But I post if you're not familiar, I've been probably for the last, I don't know, month or so, I've been posting a video Monday through Friday on question of the day. And I don't know if you saw the question of the day yesterday, but link to YouTube. Yeah, great. Thanks, Ed. And if you didn't, I was just gonna tell you what the question was, and because I've gotten, I didn't check TikTok this morning. I'd had a few responses to it, but I had several responses on YouTube to it, and the question is if you could speak to God today, you got to ask him one question. What question would you ask him? And I knew when I asked it that I thought, that for some people might be, that can be a really deep question, I guess, and if you look at that. But my whole thing is I really did want to know. I wanted to see what people said. And that's why I asked the question, and I'm sure that I'm going to continue to get a lot of different answers. Some good, maybe some not so good. I don't know, but I do look for sometimes questions that I think make people think and engage. That's the whole thing. The lives, the videos, all of it is all about engagement. If you can't get people to engage with your content, then you're kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. But anyway, so I haven't, I'll take this conversation down the road, and I'm not an expert at it, but I knew Ed would probably be on this morning. And so I didn't know if he had seen that, but yeah, I thought that was a good question. For me, I thought it was a good question, and I'm kind of curious to see. And I'm not the expert on that. Ed is. And, I think you're going to get a lot of different answers. So maybe Ed, you could add that question in this week's Bible study. I mean, I know you already have a plan, and I don't mean to vary from it, but yeah. That's just one of those questions that I've been thinking, like, what would I ask him? And then I'll come up with something. I'm like, no, that's covered. No, that's covered. I saw a couple of people, they answered, have I done enough? Have you done enough? I don't know. I don't think you can do enough, because that's not how you get into heaven. He's already said that. Now there are things that I think that you do need to do. You need to try to live. You're never going to live sin free. You're a sinner. I'm a sinner. We're all sinners. But because he died on the cross, that's what's going to give us eternal life. My opinion. And again, I'm not the expert on that. Ed is, but I thought I might bring that up. So, okay, we're going to move forward. Let's see, what do y'all want to talk about? And we can talk about anything y'all want to talk about. Just chime in. If you have something you want to discuss or you got a question, definitely ask. Hey, and I do have another question too. So, because I'm not on the other side, there's a section here where you can do like polls where it asks questions and people can vote. On your side, do you see that? Or I'm going to have to probably do some research, but I thought that might be a tool that might be fun to do during the live. So never know. I'm looking at some stuff here. Okay. So I'm going to ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions. So these are real quick, short questions, and everybody, this is to create engagement, so you can engage, and they're short answers. So if you're a slow typer like me, you can still put your answers in. And the first one's really easy. Do you prefer coffee or tea? And in the comments, your answer would either be coffee or tea. And boom, coffee. Anybody else? Come on, guys. Wake up. 6:09 in the morning. Nobody else? Hello? Wakey. Okay. We'll move to the next question. Okay. The next question is, pancakes or waffles? Which do you prefer? Hey, Nate. Unless I have a sore throat. Tea, okay, with lemon and honey, great. Yeah. Fam going off to work. Pancake. I'm kind of so much easier than waffles. Yeah, they are. Most definitely. I really like pancakes too. But waffles to me are like kind of a specialty. They take a little more effort, but they're really good. I like pancakes and waffles. So, but I was just trying to stick with one answer. Kim, Kim likes both. Okay. Lloyd said, hey, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's the next question. This is a music question. I know we have some music lovers. Country music or pop? I mean, I know there's a lot of other kinds, but that's the question. Country music or pop? Which do you prefer? Put your answer in the comments. Country or pop? Me too. And I like old country music. I like Merle Haggard and some of those back. There's one or two artists currently that I like, okay, but for the most part, I would say that 80s and 90s, and even some further back than that, I really like. More, yeah, huh? I liked, not Dean Martin. There were some other singers way back in the 50s that I liked some of that music too. I like Motown. Motown had some really good, the Four Tops, that kind of music. I like that. Matter of fact, Lakis just joined. Hey, all the way from India. Good morning. What time is it there in India? I'm guessing, is it nighttime? Do you like India? I work with, different people across the globe in the job that I do. And yeah, we have some people in India. I can't tell you who I work for, but yeah. So we have meetings and stuff. And so a lot of times Kenny Rogers, Hank Williams, Shanna Twain. Yep. Reba. Absolutely. I'm not a Gen X. I'm a baby boomer, but Ed and I are closer in age. And so we like a lot of the same stuff, I think. I know Ed really likes music. I've heard him talk about it. My wife is a music fanatic. I mean, she has a playlist that will just blow you away. I mean, she from country to pop to she has a lot of Motown music she has saved. I mean, she's just a real music lover, and I'm always glad because when we go on road trips, man, we rarely play the radio. We just play her music list, and it just goes and goes and goes. There's some gospel music. I mean, it's like every genre she likes music from. So, and I like music too. I'm not as big a fanatic as she is, but I'm always thankful that she is. Okay, so fall or summer mornings? Fall or summer mornings? I'm putting my answer in right now. Boop. There we go. The cooler weather. So my favorite time of the year is, and I look forward to it every year. And maybe it's because where we live, it's so hot. And, we've a lot of times we've gone 60 days with 100 plus degree days. It's just sweltering hot, and the humidity's has its moments where it's up and down. It can be really miserable to be outside. So when fall gets here, two things. One, the weather gets better. Two, it's college football season, and that always excites me because by then I'm definitely ready for some football. And then, of course, my family's always glad when January gets here because they're like, oh, thank goodness, no more football. So, yeah, I kind of burn them out, I guess. Okay, and then the last question this morning would be, if you had to give something up, and these are your two choices, would you give up caffeine or social media for a week? Caffeine or social media for a week? Which one would you give up if you were going to give one up? Man, that's difficult for me. But you're gonna probably, I think I'd give up social media. I think it would be easier for me to give up social media for a week than caffeine, because the only caffeine I drink is first thing in the morning. It's coffee. And after the coffee runs out, I drink nothing but just plain water. People say I'm boring. However, when the first time I went to C4 join, hey man, how's it going? So it's 5 p.m. in India right now. Lakesh joined. We had Lakesh, we had somebody that joined from New Zealand yesterday. So I thought that was really good. But you're the first to join our morning coffee talk live from India. So congratulations, and thank you for joining. Thank you for taking the time to stop by and see what we do in the morning. Yeah. Ed says he think he could give up social media too first. Yeah, for sure. So I don't know. Those were just a few fun questions I thought would be fun to do. And I do have another one too. I keep, there's just different things here. So let me ask you this question. Can you tell me what motivates you to get up and get going each morning? And I asked that question because before I started the live, I Tony Kroos just joined. Hey, Tony. Thank you for joining us this morning from YouTube. Appreciate you. Hey, let us know where you're from. What kind of work do you do? We're just here asking questions and, talking about engagement. Agimoto. Oh, that was a drive-by. So here's the question I had. What motivates you to get up and get going every morning? You could get up and just go sit on the couch, sit in a recliner, do nothing. And the reason I came up with this question is because on my phone this morning, when I was getting ready here, I turned it on. I was listening to the news. I turned it on YouTube, and a video popped up, and it's this guy talking about retirement, and in the video he's talking about his mother and father when they retired. Emily Azul joined. Thank you. Whoop, that was a drive-by. Oh no, she's still here. Hey Emily, how you doing this morning? Thank you for the follow. Well, that was a very nice compliment. Thank you, Emily. So anyway, he's talking about his parents' retirement, and Andrew Laura just stopped by. Okay. And what they did when they retired, that they moved to Florida. Great. So Emily, I'm just asking questions about different topics, just to kind of catch you up where we're at. And we're streaming from YouTube and TikTok at the same time. So that's always fun. And the question I had was, what motivates you to get up every morning? And the reason I asked that question this morning was because I was watching somebody on YouTube, and they popped up a retirement video. And they were talking about their parents when they retired. And, when you retire, you should not retire to the couch, but retire to do something that maybe you didn't have time to do before, maybe a hobby, something you love, and how important it is to not only when you retire, but to try to get healthy. A lot of times when we work, the stress of work and job and being busy and on the go all the time, the one thing that always suffers is yourself. You suffer with less sleep. You suffer with maybe less time to, exercise and take care of yourself. You suffer with your diet because you're busy and you just pick up fast food. So all of those things can affect how you are when you're not retired. So when you're retired, you usually have more time. And so, you want to, as you age, you want to be able to live on your own and be healthy and be able to do something. I mean, you've worked all your life. This is supposed to be your time to, relax, have some relaxation, but you need to have a purpose. You don't want to just go sit on the couch. And I'm not going to go sit on the couch. I'm going to continue to do, social media. Met some really good people on TikTok. I've got a good support system. And so for me, I've already kind of started the process. People at work have even seen it. So, I'm down like 60 pounds. I've started walking more. I'm trying to eat better. I want to live into my 90s. I want to make sure that I get that Social Security check as long as I can. I'm going to try to recoup my investment. I'm just being funny there, but I do want to live a long time until God says, your time's up, and we never know when that's going to be. So, as long as I'm here, I want to be healthy. And so to be healthy, I've committed that I'm going to continue to walk and exercise, and probably exercise more when I actually retire, because I'll have some more time. I like that. I don't have a couch. Good. That's good. But you might have a recliner. Do you have a recliner? Faux real. Come on. I like that. That's their handle. Faux real. For real text. Oh, got a text in there, I bet. yeah, so he was just talking about that, and I thought, man, what a good message that, when you retire, don't go. That's the perfect time. If there's something that you always wanted to do, you wanted to like try, um, any of that, that's the time. Hopefully you're able to retire and you're still healthy enough to do all of that. I didn't think I was going to be retiring at 66, but the company did a reorg. And, at first I thought it was a terrible idea. I still am not real sure how they're handling it is the way I would have handled it. I think that's kind of bad. Michael Herman, thank you for joining. But I would say this, sometimes things happen that are out of your control. And initially you might think, this is terrible. I don't know what I'm going to do. You're mad. I think, or at least for me, anytime I've ever been laid off, I mean, you might not want to admit it, but, I think your feelings are hurt a little bit. Maybe you feel like that, you're not appreciated. And at least that's for me. I feel like I've dedicated a lot of time, effort, and resources to do a good job and manage assets for the company, and then I just feel like they just like boop, kicked you to the curb. So I always tell people this at work, that think that they're important. If you can't part the water, you ain't that important. So just think about that one. Morning, Stacy. How you doing, girl? So also, if you're new here, make sure you consider following, because I like to go follow and help other TikTokers do the same thing that we're all here for, to grow our following and have a good time at the same time. If you'd like to join if you're new here and you'd like to join the fan club, send me one of those little heart me things. I think they're a point, and it automatically adds you to the list. And I have a request, and I need your input whether you think it's a good idea or not. So here's the request. The request is, I would like, and we have the fan club, but the fan club just gives me a list of everybody who's wanted to be on it. Yeah, Ed's talented. I'm telling you, I have people tell me that they think I'm busy. The busiest person I know is Ed. I'm not sure how he accomplishes all the stuff that he is responsible for in a day. I really don't. And I'm sure we don't ever see this side of it, but I'm sure there are times that he goes in the house and just sits down and is just exhausted. I mean, has nothing left mentally, physically, can't even think straight, because his whole day is revolved around giving and helping and being present. And I can tell you that can be exhausting. And, I'm just guessing it's not unusual for him to have a 12-hour day fairly regularly. So anyway, everybody give Ed props. If you don't follow Ed, go follow Ed. He's on TikTok and YouTube. Check out his podcast, all of those things. I know you've heard me say it a million times, and you'll probably hear it a million more. So definitely do that. But yeah, so when I retire, I'm going to be, we're moving on. I mean, I think I could go to work today and they could say, here's your paperwork. Hey, Chris, how's it going, buddy? And send me home, and I would be totally fine. But that's not the case. We're going to be working until, I think, January the 2nd is the last day. And I'm okay with that too. Except I've been ramping up and preparing, and I'm ready to move on to the next stage. You see how humble Ed is? Anyway, so let's see what else. Today's Wednesday. I always like to remind everybody that Ed and a group of us, and Ed already had done this, but we've expanded a little bit. We do have Bible study Thursday nights, 6:30 Central Standard Time, right here on TikTok. Everybody can join. I would, I invite everyone that hears or sees this, come join us on Thursday nights at 6:30 for Bible study. Stay 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you could stay the whole time. It's an hour. It's usually an hour. Sometimes it's a little less. Depends on how quick we get through the material. But definitely come join that. It started off slow, but I see it really gaining momentum. And I think that in a year, there's going to be so many people on that live Bible study that I think we're all going to be surprised. My opinion. Good morning, Donna. How you doing? Leaving for work? I'll try to watch again. Thank you. Hey, Donna, you can watch the whole live on YouTube too. I'm streaming it over there too. So if that's easier for you, you can definitely do that. Hey, baby.
Hola.
Granddaughter off to work. But anyway, yeah. Folks are hungry for God. They are. Even if they don't know they are. I agree with you. Your pup's not too happy with you. JB just joined. No, I don't do anything like that. Abode, Yagi just joined. Thank you. Hey, how's it going, guys? Over here joining us for a morning coffee talk live on YouTube. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah. So if you're watching the live, I'm talking to people. Some are here from and watching the live on TikTok, and others are on YouTube. So I try to go back and forth so that we get to converse that way. Hey, Chris, how was the? Was that a rodeo that you were going to? It was WCRA. Morning, Ranger. How's it going, buddy? Was it good? Where's Chris? Is Chris still with us? There he is. Good deal. Arnie 55 just joined. But anyway, yeah, so that's where I was. And what is this? Jimmy Dean sausage. Oh, I love Jimmy Dean sausage. Cheese in a crescent roll. That's probably good. Working Ranch Cowboys Association. Okay, Working Ranch Cowboys Association. I've never been to that. Chris, is that a rodeo or is that just a gathering? What is that? It was a ranch rodeo. Okay. All right. Is it? I'm guessing by what I saw that it attracts quite a few people. 50, 100, 200, 400. There's different events. Okay. Might have to Google that. I guess it might be something on Google. Several thousand. Oh, wow. Okay. So if just so for the people on YouTube that are joined, Chris is over here on, he joins us on TikTok, and Chris lives up in the Texas Panhandle, and is a retired DPS officer, but he works for the Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association as a peace officer now. And so, yeah, that organization's been around since the 1870s, and he watches over our Texas cattle for theft and equipment, and he does a lot of different things. You know, things that I might not have even thought about. He spends time educating the public on some of the laws. He works with the DPS still. Some and sheriff's departments across the state of Texas. He's licensed peace officer in Texas and in Oklahoma. So if you're ever on TikTok, go give him a follow. He goes by CowCop1. He's got a lot of good videos, so check him out. Abode, I hope I'm not butchering your name. Abode, where are you from? Tony, can you tell us where you're from? What part of the country you're from? JB, how about you too? I'm really, you know, I really am thankful that we're starting to see more people join us from YouTube. Because somebody told me, well, my daughter told me that people don't join live streams on YouTube, and I just didn't think that was true. However, I have done some research, and you know, they say that all of the real streaming platform, probably the #1 streaming platform, is TikTok. Don't know why, but YouTube has some really good features I like. That maybe I'd like to see TikTok adopt. One is I would like them to record the entire live and post that, but they don't post any videos over 10 minutes, and the live goes an hour or so. So yeah, and that's where YouTube picks up, and it helps me there too. So yeah, so it's Wednesday, and yesterday was the last day I took all the guys out for lunch. We had a good lunch, reminisced a little bit. Nobody really knows what direction they're going to go. They're still looking for jobs. So if you know of any tech jobs in the Austin area, send me a link. Okay, back to the question. I keep getting sidetracked. So here's the question I had this morning. We talked about, on TikTok, we have the fan club, and you can, if you haven't, you can just send me the little heart me. On YouTube, we don't have that. So for YouTube, it's like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live. And you know, you can check out videos. I have probably 300 there on YouTube, so there's a lot of content to watch. What I want to do is, and I have it posted on TikTok and on YouTube, I have a work email, and it's daveshop2@gmail.com. Feel free at any time to send me an email to that email address. If you have a question about the live, a video, just whatever. And what I would like to do is I would like to have anybody who's interested send me an email so that I have your email. And here's why. I'm not going to spam you. I'm not going to sell your information or any of that. But there are times, and it's happened before, where something happens and I can't, and I don't do the live. Maybe I'm sick. You know, something happens that causes me not to be able to go live that day or 2 days, or, you know, whatever it is. Life happens. And I'd like to have an email list that I could send one email just notifying everybody, hey, you know, I'm out sick today. There won't be a live. And then that way nobody's, if anybody was worried, it would cover us there. So if you feel like you're comfortable with that and you're on right now, definitely send me email with whatever email address you want responded to, and I'm going to put together what I call a distribution list so that I can send one email out. Yeah, we're okay. It says good. Good. There you are. I was wondering where you were at this morning. You must have slept in more, God. I was watching some of your videos. Oh, you're funny. So I have a question for you. Have you always been in the landscape business all your life? Mowing, God? Yeah, I know. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. I thought he was a troll first. Yeah, right. Yeah, so like if you feel comfortable, send it to send me an email, whatever, to Dave's Shop, the number 2 at gmail.com. That way I can kind of put that list together so that if something happens, I can send you an email and everybody will get it. And two, if I decide after I retire and have more time, if I decide to do maybe a live at a special time, which they call it an event, I can send an email out, just notifying everybody, hey, this Saturday because of ABC, I'm going to do a live for whatever, and but 25 years as a 4-color pressman for a newspaper. My grandfather, so I don't know if I've told y'all or not, but my extended family are all deaf. And, of course, most of them have passed. But when I was a kid, I grew up and my family was deaf. Both sides of my family, my mother's side of the family and my father's side of the family. My mom and dad actually met at the Deaf Club in Dallas, Texas. That's where they met. Now, my mother and father could hear, just their parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, all of that. Ranger, all right, have a good day. Thanks for joining me. Talk to you later, buddy. But anyway, so where was I going? I'm drawing a blank here. Oh, anyway, my grandparents on my mother's side lived in the Dallas-Fort Worth area all their life, or, their adult life, and my mother's childhood. And my grandfather worked as a pressman, not for a newspaper. He worked for, a printer, and I guess they printed, used to, printers were everywhere. And now you see these little companies called Print It in a Minute, but he worked for it was a pretty big organization. And that's what he did all his life, and he hated it. I never knew that. I always thought he of course I was a young kid then, but my mother told me that he always hated it. And that was kind of, way back when, the deaf were like trained for some type of job that they could do and support themselves. And he was able to do that. So that was a good thing, but that's just not the job he would have picked for himself, even though he did it for like 40 years. He worked printing for a company. Yeah. Wow. Huh. So let me ask you this. Of course, I've never worked in a union. And Emily, good morning. And my only experience with a union was when I worked for Coca-Cola in Austin, and they tried to, come in. And of course, they didn't come in because Coca-Cola just said, they would close the plant, and they were fully prepared to do that. And so, you know, my theory's always been, I can speak for myself, and I see where in history unions were probably good. I'm not sure that they're still good or are really necessary in this day and time. Maybe they are. I don't know. I'm pretty outspoken, and I think you are too, Mo. God, you strike me as you don't really mince words. You can pretty much hold your own. You printed Yoplait yogurt lids, really Hardy lids. We used to have a Hardee's here. It didn't last long. They had good food though. Also printed napkins, bands, Tabasco sauce. Wow. So when did you get into the landscaping business? Was that something you did after you retired from printing? Or was that always like a side gig for you? What? Sorry, there. You TikTok doing there. Okay, here we go. Got that out of the way. Would have been mowing grass since I was. Well, yeah, I know. I figured that. You know, so you know, one of the first jobs I ever had, I was 11, and I actually had 3 employees: my mother and both my sisters. And I had a lawn mowing business in the affluent part of Dallas, Texas. And the only reason I had it was because my mother had a great aunt, and she lived in what was called then, and still is, the Lover's Lane area of Dallas. And at the time, it was pretty wealthy people. And of course, this was a time before blowers and all of the other stuff. They did still have edgers, and but you know, you'd mow the grass and you actually had to sweep the sidewalks. You didn't have one of those blowers that blow them off in about 2 minutes. You had to rake the yards. So there was a lot more work involved. But I made enough money that I was able to pay myself, my mother, for her time for taking me and, you know, packing me around for a whole summer, and saved up a ton of money and paid my sister some money too. So yeah, that was my first business. How about that? And I was 11. And before the summer was over, I had like 2 or 3 lawnmowers that I'd bought. And so yeah, later in life, in my probably 20s or 30s, I had a small engine repair business, but I quickly realized that most of the stuff that people brought me wasn't worth what they would have had to pay to have it fixed. So it was a kind of a throw me away. I got a lot of lawnmowers for free, and you know, I could fix them, and I could sell them and make 10 or 12, 15 bucks off of them, but it just didn't seem like a profitable business. So my next business I was in the swimming pool business for 17 years. That was my side gig, and I worked 7 days a week, and that was a very lucrative business. I installed equipment and I cleaned and maintenance pools. And when I got out, I turned it over to my daughter and son-in-law, and they ran it for another, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and then they got burnt out and sold the business. So yeah. So anything about a swimming pool? I don't know anything. I haven't heard anything. No, I'm just kidding. Things that we do in our lifetime, you know, you think it's unlike it used to be, where you would have a job for 40 years and a pension. That's just not the case anymore. Swimming pools need to be filled with dirt. Amen, buddy. Somebody keeps asking me, hey, you want to get a swimming pool? No. Have you ever had a swimming pool? Yes. And so swimming pools are like boats. The 2 happiest days are the day you get it and the day you get rid of it. For sure. Hey, Chris, have a good day. It's Wednesday. Be careful out there. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. It is 6:47, isn't it? Well, guys, I went over yesterday. So today, oh, there you are. Trippin' Fox. How you doing this morning? Trippin' Fox joins us on YouTube. You were here yesterday. I'm glad to see you join again. Thank you for joining. Appreciate that. You know, the one thing we didn't do this morning is everybody take your finger out like this. And I'm just showing YouTube. They don't get to do this, but YouTube, on your part, this finger is for likes. So up and down, little finger. And this keeps you from getting arthritis in your finger too. Reach up, tap that screen, and like the live. Same thing over here on TikTok. They know what to do. Boop, boop, boop. Hit that screen. I can't do that anymore because the computer doesn't recognize that. So likes, shares, all that fun stuff. We did all our finger exercises 3,000 times. You're right, Ed. We did. It was funny. There you go. Look at them going off. So like on YouTube, you get these little 100s. That's pretty cool. Yeah. How about that? That's great. I like get your exercise in, you know. Did you exercise this morning? Oh yeah. Yeah. Look. That's too funny. Let's see what else. I can't really think of anything else. Anybody got any questions this morning? Any questions at all? I'm open. I'm an open book. Just ask, and you shall receive. You might not get the answer you want, but you will get an answer. Doing great. Hope you're doing good this morning. I am. Thank you. We did have somebody, like I said, joined us from India for the first time. I thought that was pretty cool too. Technology sometimes can drive you nuts, and other times I'm amazed by it. I'm amazed that we can do something like this, have a live. I'm in Texas and somebody else is seeing it in India. How about that? So that's kind of that's where I look sometimes different things, but I look at like when we have Bible study and we go live. And of course, everybody's initial thoughts are the only people that hear and see that are the people that attend. But that's not true. People are scrolling by all the time. And some people stay and maybe they only stay a few minutes and then leave. Others stay a few minutes and then the following week they come back again, and it kind of spreads, and so, yeah, that's my hope, is that it continues to spread so that it has to have a moderator. I don't even really know what a moderator does other than watch the feed, but I hope that he has to have a moderator, and there's 5,000 people that join that Bible study every week. I mean, can you imagine what an event that would turn into? That'd be great, wouldn't it? But I'm just as tickled if 5 or 10 of us. So whoever joins, it's always a good thing. But I just have this thought of grandeur, like what would happen if this in the garage group of guys doing Bible study turned out to have thousands of followers that joined every week and listened to Bible study. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think it would. Robert, good morning. So anyway, I'm kind of out. Whatever God's will, Bible says. I know, Ed. Like I said, it does such a good job. Anyway, that's all I have for Wednesday morning. Come tomorrow, be prepared, bring some, ask some questions. When you join, just, think about what you want to talk about in the morning. I'll try to do some more stuff and come up with some things for us to do. But besides, say hey and have a cup of coffee, that's okay too. Anyway, David Garner just joined. Hey, Dave. Nope, that was a drive-by. So yeah, that's what we'll do tomorrow. Some more morning coffee talk live. We'll have some coffee, get Thursday started off right. Hopefully we are going to continue to attract some more people over here on YouTube. I can tell you for some reason, and I hadn't figured this out yet. The live, so after the live is over with YouTube, it turns it into a video. And it takes about like 24 hours for it to process. I can see it, and you can get public views on it, but for it to completely process takes around 24 hours. And there are more views on our little live after the fact than on YouTube than during the live, because the time of day I think might be part of it. But I think that if there's still, I think, a huge audience of people that get up the same time we do and get our day started. So yeah, I love that. The most excellent thing that you can do today, then go do that. Isn't that great, guys? So go out. And think about this. What's the most excellent thing you can do today? And then go out and do that. And while you're doing that, share a little kindness. There's not enough in the world. Yeah, do that too. Join us on Thursday night, 6:30. Bible study in Ed's garage. Some of us virtually, some of us on site. It is getting colder there, so they did have to shut the garage door and turn some heaters on. So anyway, see everybody in the morning. Thank you. Have a great and blessed day, and I'll be back in the morning. Goodbye. Everybody on YouTube, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Please keep coming back. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. If you have any questions, you can send me an email to daveshop2@gmail.com. I'm putting together a list of emails just in case. If you become a regular here on the morning show, that if something happens, I can send out an email letting everybody know. Hopefully I won't ever have to do it, but I'm a realist and people do get sick and things do happen that could cause me not to be able to do the live like normal. And the last time it happened, I was unable to notify people, and there were some people that actually were worried. So by having an email list, I'll create a distribution list, and then that way I can always send out an email, get it to everybody at the same time, letting you know that there might be a change, and or if there's a special event or something like that I want to invite you to, I can do that too. So if you feel comfortable doing that, definitely send me your email to daveshop2@gmail.com, and we'll go from there. I hope you have a great Wednesday. Thank you for being here, because without you, there is no live. Until tomorrow, 5:45 a.m., I'll see you then.